Few people could see the bright side like our next guest. Very, very excited to welcome in our dear friend, Mr. Fred Smoot. Fred, please tell me the sky is not falling.
JP is not falling, man. It's week 2 in the NFL. Do not get paralysis by overanalysis. Like, let's not do that. We only have 8 quarters of information on the 2025 Washington Commanders. Let's not do that. We ran into, let me tell you first of all, 1, we played a team that's capable of winning the Super Bowl. 2, we played them on a short week. These guys only had 48 hours to even practice, let alone travel. 3, listen to me. It's week 2. Don't let him do this, BMitch. Don't you let him do this.
I tried.
I've been
Fred,
saying that too, for the record.
Let me ask you this question, Fred. Can you explain the coverage that Green Bay was using on them, and also getting pressure with just 4?
All right, they was rushing 4. They was dropping 7. They was playing 2 combinations of cover 2 and cover 4. They was mixing them, playing it on one side and playing it on the other. When you have Rashawn Gary, when you have Micah Parsons, like, listen to me. If you add Micah Parsons to any defense in the NFL, it becomes better. But when you add steak and lobster to something, that's the best dish you can ever get. Now you got speed. Now you got power. It was a different monster. Like I said, then you playing them on the road. It was a good measure of coverage in rush. The only other team capable of doing that and doing that to us was the Philadelphia Eagles. They ran the same exact game plan that they ran. You kind of hide and you mask when you do go man to man, or when you do try to do some one rob or something. But that's the only time you actually play anything with the middle safety if you got a robber, because that robber can actually be a spy on Jaden. So they had a great game plan. We ran into a buzzsaw. Hopefully we see them again. I always say this: if you're going to beat me in the season, I'd rather you beat me early, and I'd rather you beat me the first time, because hopefully I'll see you again.
All right, Fred, so here's my question, because it was clear that Green Bay was able to get home with their front and didn't have to commit, linebackers or anything else to generate pass rush. What, if anything, could Washington have done to combat that? Because we didn't see much variation as the game went on. It didn't seem like offensively they tried other things.
This was one of those things where the only way to beat a fast defense like that is to hit them right directly in the mouth. I thought this was a Chris Rodriguez, John Bates Motel type game. I thought it was supposed to be murked up. You're going on a roll. You need to shorten the possessions that you give the Packers. You can only do that with a run game. But it turns out that was their game plan against us, to run it no matter what, because actually I get a defense props. They kind of held Jacobs in check because he ran the ball 20-plus times. He only got like 80 yards. So let's be honest. That was I thought was going to be our game plan, to run more and throw less and try to keep it in third and short and give us a chance to actually move the ball and matriculate the ball down the field methodically, but we didn't.
I was also surprised, Fred. I thought they would try to establish the run. I thought you'd kind of run it right at Parsons, and they just didn't. I mean, 12 carries to the backs. I thought we'd see more from Bill, and we didn't. Were you surprised by that also?
Well, Bill can't get the share of carries if we're not running the ball. Once we got behind, and I didn't think we was ever behind too much that you couldn't keep incorporating the run game, but once we got behind, now it's time to see, can we get some Jaden magic, and it just wasn't there. And this is one game of many. I always tell people, did you think we was going to go 17-0 in the season? Somebody was going to beat us. Somebody was going to teach us a lesson, but you know what you got to do next time you see that bully. You know what you got to do.
Yep, punch him in the mouth. And I think, and then John Bates got hurt kind of early, didn't he?
Yeah, it was.
When John Bates got hurt, that messed up a lot of the game plan right there. And listen, yes, this is a passing league where a lot of tight ends catch balls, but there are also some tight ends that block their asses off. When he got hurt, that messed up the running game right there too.
Last time I checked BMitch, Mercedes Lewis probably done played 3 decades of football and probably still playing, and he a blocking tight end, ain't caught a pass in 10 years. So that tells you the importance of a tight end that extends your offensive line. Think about it. Our offensive line consists of 5 people, but if you got a blocking tight end, all of a sudden we got 6 across. We can run on anybody.
There you go.
Mercedes Lewis, Fred, I just looked it up, was drafted in 2006, late first round, and played 17 games last year for the Bears.
Yeah.
That's a career, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause once you find a niche, now you can play a long time.
Talking with our friend Fred Smoot here. Fred, I totally agree with you. It's week 2. They have the same record through 2 games this year they did last year. Do you think now through 2 games, especially considering Green Bay has shut down what are supposed to be explosive offenses in Detroit and Washington, that this Green Bay defense might just be super legit?
Oh, they legit. There's no question. Like, you're gonna have to see these guys in the playoffs. Like, they are a team, but like we said, it's week 2. Now we got variables that you got to put in for the rest of the season. How healthy do they stay? Do they keep on? You can't keep on running the same thing. Like, do you mix it up? Do your defense grow? Does the mentality grow? Like, do you own your division? If we can look back on plenty of years where somebody starts off 2-0 and at the end of the season they not the team we thought they was going to be for other reasons unknown. And it's a team right now that's 0-2 that's going to the playoffs that nobody's talking about. So it's just too many variables for me to say, all right, are they a team? Yes, I think they're a team. I think Jordan Love is the real deal. Their receiving core can flat out go get it from 1 to 5. Their defensive backfield can play. Them linebackers, they fly around,
yes,
and they're youthful. They're very young.
And another thing about it, I think when you look at Minnesota from last year, they were that defense early on that was disrupting a lot of people. As the season went on, they started getting scored upon. Yeah. And I think you just got to figure out a way. I saw in the game where they were setting on all the routes with some coverage over the top, but we never adjusted what we were running. Mm-hmm. We played into their hands.
Yeah, and we played into their hands on the road while not understanding it's only one way to take the crowd out the game and take the offense out the game, and that was to run the ball. People always look at running the ball. They look at it as offensive, and they always say, I want a 10-yard run, 20-yard run. No, give me 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and let's control this thing, and let's make Jordan Love watch as much of the game as I'm watching sitting on my couch. Like, I want to control them and run the ball to be defensive as much as I want it to be offensive.
Mm-hmm. Especially in that environment. When Commanders had third downs, they were trying to convert. That place was rocking.
Loud.
We're talking with our friend Fred Smoot here on the Rude Guest Hotline. Rude makes the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. You can give Fred a follow at FSmoot21 Sean T. Fred, can you walk us through kind of just how open that middle of the field was for the Green Bay tight ends?
Oh, talking about on the play where he got the 50-yard pass?
Well, kind of throughout the night, but certainly on that big one.
I think it was one of them things where they ran the wide receiver up the sideline. They ran the tight end vertically up the seam. I think they went 3 vertical there, and somebody was supposed to carry. I don't know, was it the strong safety? Was it supposed to be one of the backers, either Frankie Louvu?
I think Bobby and
Bobby
also
Wagner.
Harris both jumped way outside.
Yes,
and the tight end went straight up the middle with nobody there.
Nobody there, and I think that's one of the plays that kind of changed the game right there.
Yeah,
because not only did he hit him in the seam, he got a lot of yak and run after the catch after that, and that kind of took all the air out of the defense, and then they started to kind of play on their heels where they was halfway aggressive and halfway coverage, and it was one of them things we could never really find our groove, and it was not because they was hitting us with the big passes. It's because Josh Jacobs he was killing us with 100,000 paper cuts.
Yeah.
It was just, it maintained the game and it maintained the drive, and it's nothing like being on defense and when you play the right play in the first and the second down, and now offense runs for a third down and a first down. It changes the momentum.
Yeah, because if you go back and look, on the first drive, Green Bay goes for it on 4th down. Trey Amos makes a hell of a play to break up that pass in the end zone, and Washington stonewalls them. The offense can't get much going. They punt. It's a great punt and a great play by Percy Butler. I think Green Bay starts at their own 4 or 5 yard line, and it was 2nd and 6 at their own 23, and Love connects with Kraft for 57, and they go on to score a touchdown like 3 plays later. And then it was just kind of like chasing after that. What did you think of Lattimore's game last night?
You know what? It was one of those games where I think the game plan, especially, they start to do it later, right? Where they realize anytime they go in motion across the whole formation, like we need to box this. And when we say box this as a cornerback, that means if I'm coming across the formation, the outside corner now is going to take the man that's coming in motion, the far outside man. That's what he becomes. And I end up taking the man that comes inside, and the strong safety and the free safety going to play high. So they start to communicate that late. Yeah. And I'm wondering why they didn't do it earlier, because it put him in some very lose-lose situation going across the formation and your guy running a 5-yard out route. Yep. You chasing from the door, plus you running through traffic. They start to, switch and zone it off later, and they should have been doing that earlier, and I thought that got him, first of all, got him frustrated. Second of all, it got him in some odd positions that he didn't want to be in, and the game started to kind of snowball on, especially when he get the penalties that are holding penalties, and that's the knick-knack things I think he needs to understand. Once they label you as a certain guy, like sometimes they label him as grabby, you will not get the benefit of the doubt.
Yep, totally. I think, and I saw one play, man, they lined up, they did a shift. Receiver went all the way to the other side, came back in motion, and you're right. When you're chasing, running through traffic, you're not stopping out route. They even did that sometimes when they were going motion, and they would go up and run the damn 10, 15-yard out route. And Jordan Love was putting the ball right on time. You can't defend that.
Yeah, it's nothing that you cannot defend that. We call that a tackle ball. You just got to tackle that receiver and live to play another day.
To your point, Fred, I mean, Green Bay stayed committed to the run, and Jacobs seemed to be grinding it out a little bit more later in this thing, but he finished 23 for 84, 3.7 YPC. You know what I mean? But they showed the commitment to it that really allowed them to control this game.
They ran it 20-something times.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing I think so much, where we always looking for the yards per carry. Sometimes it's just the mere fact that you keep running it. Because now, if you keep running it 20, 30 times, the defense has to pay attention to it. But if you go away from it, and then you come with them token fakes, they don't give a damn about that.
Well, to that point,
the linebackers don't get sucked up.
Jacobs was the bell cow, and he was under 4 yards per carry. But the number 2 running back, who only had the 2 carries but was explosive,
in the pass game,
Williams, right? He had 2 carries for 24, and they got Matthew Golden, the rookie, the ball on the ground twice on some sweeps. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, their running backs as a whole average probably close to 6 yards a carry or 5.5 or something like that. So,
the running game as a whole design did, but the primary runner and the bell cow did not. But what he did do is extend drives. What he did do is like I said, death by 1,000 paper cuts. What he did do is maintain the game and keep JD5 on the sideline. Listen, it's hard for an offense to get in rhythm if they waiting to play 10, 11 plays. All right, and then that happens again. Now they don't get but 2 possessions in the quarter. That shortens the game. Yep. If they go out there and get 2 possessions in the quarter and they 2, 3 and out, we looking at the offense like they ain't did nothing, but they ain't had a chance to. They've only had 6 plays. Right? So how could they get in rhythm? How could they run the ball? How could they get moving? Especially when you got a team that's saying, I'm going to keep everything in front of us. We're going to rush this thing with 4 passes. And that's why I say the only way to offset that pass rush was to run at it. I'm surprised we didn't see a lot more zone plays. I'm surprised we didn't see a lot more draws. I'm surprised because the threat of pass is always there with Jedi 5. So it's like at one point you have to start to try to manipulate the defense to do what you want them to do. And the best thing to do with pass rushes is, I'm telling you, I played on the side of Bruce Smith a lot in my early career, and the one thing I knew in the beginning of any game, they running on our side because they know Bruce is a pass rush and he want a pass rush, and if you want to notify him, you need to wear him down in the run game so when it's time to pass rush and you do chip him, he's not as effective.
Yep.
Fred, what, if any, concern do you have offensively just not clicking through 2 games?
I got the concerns of a 2-year-old baby. I ain't worried about nothing. All right? I ain't worried about nothing. Listen, we got to learn to let the season mature. We got to learn that this is not I know we live in a microwave society, but we can't have every answer now. All right, if that was the case, the MGM wouldn't be open if all of us had the answers right now.
Yep.
All right, so what we got to do is sit back, let people do their job, stay out the kitchen, and just watch and enjoy this team, this version of this team mature. Because as long as they can stay healthy, as they mature and learn how to play together, they will be a better team than we had last year.
They lost two people that were vital, and I'm definitely in their game plans, and Eckler and also Wise. Those two guys are probably gone for the season. Wise posted something, and you're hearing that it could be a tear in the quad. Eckler, it looks like Achilles. How do you replace those two guys? Because you talk about being healthy. Two veteran guys that were effective, both gone in 1 week.
Yeah, that's a blow. That's a blow, especially to your long-term and playoff game plans. But you know, like I know, BMitch, when one guy goes down, it's the opportunity for somebody else to be great. It's the opportunity for somebody else to play. It's the opportunity for somebody else to steal their name as a true NFL player. And maybe we'll just get that youth boost that we need. Since everybody say we're the oldest team, if you get two more youthful dudes that step up, hey, we got, that's a Jean Baptiste away. That's somebody else getting a chance to play. So maybe this is what happens in Bill's career. All right, Eckler goes out, he steps in, he becomes the back that everybody think he can be. Man, opportunity is right there where air. It's everywhere. So I just think it's a chance for somebody else to step up. I hate that we lost those guys, especially when you talk about Wise. I thought he was going to be significant to the defense. I understand that Eckler was already on the pitch count. He was not going to be like a 300 carry back during the year, but you hate to lose his leadership. You hate to lose everything that he brings to the field. But like I said, it's a chance for Chris Rodriguez to put his signature on this season. So I always say it's opportunity for somebody else. But there's no true answer to how you're going to replace those guys. It's just somebody else going to step up.
Fred, I don't know if you've been listening to the program at all. Landfill's been playing sad songs all day. We're going to try to switch it up.
All damn day.
We're going to do...
What's wrong? Landfill, Landini, what's wrong, brother? You going through something? You know I'm a counselor on my off time. What's going on?
Yeah, Fred's here to counsel you,
my
Landfill.
Lord.
They got embarrassed last night, Fred. That's what's wrong.
You know what? As a person, that has kids, your kid's going to embarrass you sometime, but you still love them. Like, the thing about it is, when they shine, but it's just one night. I know it was on national TV. Just take in the things that changed the game. We got beat. We got beat by a team that's better than us right now. We got beat by a team that's been together for years, been under the same head coach. They just put some icing on the cake with Michael Parsons. That's fine. We got beat up. We'll live to play another day. It's a chance for them to make you proud. Another Sunday to come. You'll be all right, Landini.
Fred, we're going to do a segment called Say Something Nice. I think we all need to say something nice right now.
We do. We do. Positivity.
Yeah.
10.
Tell me something you were happy to see last night. So a player, something that stood out to you.
All right. What I was happy to see is, as bad as their game looked, as bad as their fight was, we still was in the game until the end. Look at the score. If I told you that was the score and you didn't see the game, you was like, oh, they hung in there. The score never got out of hand. We lost the fight, but they still had to call it by decision. Listen, they understood that that team won, the home team won, but the score did not get out of hand. So I felt like that was so positive because I felt like what I was looking at, the score was supposed to be 45-10.
Yeah. I agree with you on that, dog.
And what BMitch got to say nice? That's what I really want to know. Like, that's really going to make my
say nice.
Here's what you got to do, Fred. Listen to the next segment. BMitch will say something nice.
Yeah, I'm going to say something nice. Other than when the game had ended.
Thank you for the time, Smoot. We appreciate you, bud.
Anytime, fellas.
Everybody check out Fred at FSmoot21, Sean T, and check out the Get Loud podcast with Michael Jenkins and Fred Smoot.